Hello and welcome to session number 3 of the Grounds for Security series. My name is Richard Enderby and I head up the cybersecurity practice for CDW in the UK. Now I hope you're enjoying the series so far. If there's any information or follow-up you'd like, then please reach out. In this session, you're going to hear about some of the advantages and complexities of the cloud and the challenges you face when using multiple cloud providers, which we appreciate you want or need to use. Visibility and compliance are paramount for these environments, but to give you greater insight, I'd like to introduce you to Matt from Checkpoint Software Technologies.
Hi everybody and welcome to Grounds for Security. My name's Matt Griffiths and I'm the Channel Manager for Checkpoint UK. Welcome to my conservatory, where today I'm going to tell you about how to know what's in the cloud, where it's in the cloud, and who put it there. So before we get into detail of how we can help you, we need to ask the question, why? Why do we need this help? The simple fact is that the cloud is starting to take over the world. So everybody's using the cloud. Literally everybody, every company, every small developer, they're all using the cloud. Why would they use the cloud? Main reason being is that it's good. It's easy to use, you have a full suite of technologies, so you're going to use it. No more 6-month purchasing cycles, you simply log on to one of the big hyperclouds, select the service you want, and you use it. This, however, has caused a bit of a problem. You see, all over the UK, there are large teams of developers, there are large teams of infrastructure people, and what those people are doing is constantly building more and more infrastructure. Because in the cloud, that can be done incredibly simply and incredibly easy. So effectively, what a developer will do is build huge amounts of infrastructure with a script, and then he might tear that infrastructure down, maybe no more than a few minutes after he built it up. What that leads to is what we call sprawl. So you've got huge amounts of people working on assets in the cloud. Those assets may be torn down, they may still be there. They could be on any one of the clouds or multiple clouds. You could have people using AI on Google, but Amazon's web services. They could be using Azure's handwriting recognition. You just don't know. So you've got all this infrastructure up in the cloud, all this assets, all this data, and you don't know where it is. You have no visibility of what's actually running. Which one, costs an awful lot of money, and 2, provides a compliance and security headache. So because developers can use systems all over the world with various different providers, like Amazon, like Azure, like GCP, all these systems start to spread. Things are there that may have been there for a number of years, virtual servers that aren't being used anymore. So how do you take control of that? Well, at Checkpoint, we have a system that's called CloudGuard Native. You may know it from its older name, which was Dome 9. And what Dome 9 does, or CloudGuard Native, is that it connects into the back-end system. So it connects into the actual accounts that your developers are using to deploy that infrastructure in the cloud. Once it's in those accounts, it can start scanning, and it can look for absolutely any instances that you have in the cloud, and it can find them. It can work out what they are, who put them there, and what they're doing. But even better than that, because we connected into the back end of their systems, and because we can see everything that they deployed, and bear in mind, most network security engineers, when they come to us, think they've got roughly 50% of the actual instances that have been deployed into the cloud. It's usually a hell of a shock. But once they've been deployed into the cloud, and we can scan those back ends, we can do even more than that. We can actually turn around and start scanning the actual assets and the instances themselves. We can compare them. We can make sure that if, for example, you're using a compliance policy, let's imagine GDPR or PCI, we can automatically run a scan as soon as that asset is deployed to make sure that those assets have been deployed in compliance with GDPR or PCI. We can also do the same thing for security. So if you as a company have a security policy that you wish to deploy across your entire estate, we can actually scan those devices to make sure they're compliant with that policy. Better than that, If those things have gone out of compliance or out of your security policy, we can automatically remediate them to put them back into compliance. The great thing about this is, in a DevOps world where people can deploy assets into the cloud in seconds and destroy them in seconds, as soon as they're deployed, we can check them. We can make sure that as soon as they become live, they are compliant and they are secure. All in all, that means that you have unrivaled visibility into your network. You have unrivaled ability to make sure everything that's being deployed in a fully automatic way is compliant with your security policy or with GDPR or PCI. And then you can move forward knowing that whenever your developers are deploying infrastructure, you know that everything they're deploying in the cloud is secure, it's compliant, and it's automatic. So at the best times, you're not getting woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning because somebody has developed something, deployed it into the cloud, and all of a sudden they break your security policy. 24/7 continuous compliance and visibility of your network. That's why CDW and Checkpoint guarantee that you can move to the cloud with confidence. Well, CloudGuard Native, it has the ability to connect into those accounts that your developers are using on the big hyperclouds like AWS, Azure, or GCP. Once it's connected in, it can scan for every single service that you're using across those clouds, and it will find every single asset that is tagged onto your account. That gives you visibility. It also tells you exactly how that asset has been built and who built it. So now you've got accountability. This is the main front page. Okay, so from here we can see the visibility and the amount of assets that we found here, and some nice charts over here. We can click into these to get more information should we need to. So the main thing I wanted to do, which was the visibility. So in the visibility, what we would do here, once the machine is connected in, we click on the area. This will show us all what we call the VPCs. The VPCs are the individual security containers. We click into these, gives a little bit more information. We can see exactly how those are connected there, and then we can go into the security group itself and we can see all the individual assets. We'll just swap that to an asset view to give us a bit more information. We can see here how everything can communicate. So we could click on here, for example, pull up this asset. Let's open a little bit, pull out this asset, and we can see here exactly what that asset communicates to. We can also look at the posture management, which is over here, which then allows us to effectively go in and run frameworks on things. We could do a simple checkup, for example, like this. We can run an assessment. That assessment, we go to the environment that we want to run it in, which is the production, and then we can run this assessment. This assessment will then come back with a nice report that you'll see in a second. When it's loaded, takes a bit of time, I'll give you that. Here we go. So this is the report that it gives us. It shows us all the entities, where the report was done, so pretty much across the world, and also everything that's failed. So we can expand that and see the failed entities just over here. So one of the great things about CGN is that it can actually sit and scan and look further in. So we can run reports. Are you compliant? If one of your developers deploys an asset into the cloud, we can instantly check that asset and make sure it's compliant with policies like GDPR, PCI, your own network security policy. We can instantly check those, make sure that they've actually been deployed in accordance with your security policy, and then, if necessarily, we can alert people that that has taken place, and better still, we can automatically remediate. What that means is that if one of your developers accidentally builds something in the cloud that isn't in compliance with your security policy, or takes your entire company out of GDPR compliance, we can see that, identify it, alert you, and then automatically remediate it so it no longer becomes a problem. The visibility that CloudGuard Native can give you, plus the additional tools that allow you to scan for security compliance issues or standard compliance issues, gives you unmatched intelligence into your network. That's why with CDW and Checkpoint, you can move to the cloud with confidence, knowing that everything that you have in the cloud will be seen, visible, and compliant, at all times. I don't want to take any much more of your time. You're happily enjoying your coffee. One of the things that I've tried to do today is to keep this nice and simple. CloudGuard Native is an exceptionally complex product that can pretty much control your entire cloud-based environment. I've tried to give you a few basic ideas so that you understand that it gives you visibility, that it can change things, and that it can scan automatically and continuously for any problems you might get in your cloud. If you really want to understand all the benefits that CloudGuard Native can give you, feel free to reach out to either CDW or ourselves, and we can take you through a full understanding of what a great product this really is. So thanks for joining this Grounds for Security chat, where I've tried to show you how CloudGuard Native can really improve your visibility of your cloud and your posture management. I'd love to see you all in person, and hopefully very shortly I'll be able to do just that. Thank you very much, and I'll see you all soon.